Hello guys, hope everyone's doing well. Yeah, so for this stream, hoping to finish the low poly model for this character. It depends whether or not we're doing the inside of his, like the inside kind of kit. I guess we could decide on that later, we don't have to worry too much about that yet. But yeah, at the moment we've got pretty much everything. We do have, well technically we do have everything modeled. I want to redo the tie. In fact, I kind of want to do the tie in Marvelous. Just to kind of get a bit of consistency, although there is a temptation to throw these into Marvelous and just simulate, like, you know, just for half a second or something, just to get a little bit more natural drapery in the mesh. Not 100% set on that, but I'm going to test out doing the tie, and in terms of getting this kind of low poly to finished state before we can do the high poly stuff, it's just a case of kind of deciding, okay, is this the final topology flow we're going to go for? Does it have the general volumes that we want? Is there enough detail at this scale? So I do want to add a bit more like this sort of stuff, just to kind of make it feel more interesting. Especially the trousers, they're a bit boring at the moment. There's not really much happening on them. There's there's the seam lines and that sort of stuff, but there's nothing too important happening. So I kind of want to model this in a bit more detail, just to get it to look really good. I could just cut along the middle and add like kind of a fly, that sort of thing. I also kind of want to get rid of the these. So I'll just quickly do that now. I'd rather the consistency, to be honest. Yeah, so today's been a fun day. Ended up getting a contract through for Bournemouth University, so as of some point very soon, technically already, but haven't done my first session yet. I'm now a part-time lecturer at Bournemouth University, which is really exciting. I've always really loved teaching, so for me to be able to teach like kind of professionally is really exciting. And also Becca got me, as like an early anniversary gift, she bought me the StickyMonsters book, the one that this character is based on. Although, as it turns out, the book contains almost all of his art except from this image. This is the one image that I cannot find in the book. It has like all the others, so either this was like way older or way newer. It's really hard to tell, but yeah, I've got the book for this now, so I can start looking at other kind of images for inspiration for it. But yeah, so I guess we'll just get into it, right? So, I mean, we kind of already started. If anyone has any suggestions, like stuff to do to make this look cooler, just let me know, because I'm at that stage of the low poly where I am tempted just to move into high poly, but I know it's a little bit too soon. But I do need to UV everything as well, that's going to take a while, and I still haven't decided if I need to get rid of the thickness, sculpt it, and then put the thickness back in afterwards. I still don't really know what the correct pipeline is, because there's just so many ways to do it. I am leaning towards deleting the inside, which kind of suggests to me don't do the UVs yet, because there'd be no point doing it and laying it out. Maybe, maybe place the cuts, but we'll figure that out. Anyway, so I'm just going to get on with a tie. I'm going to try to learn from the lessons of our last session. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate the t-shirt, and I think it's only the t-shirt I need actually. Yeah, it's only a t-shirt I need. So I'm just going to duplicate that and put it in its own group and scale it up 10 times, because we know that we need to work at 10 times scale for Marvelous, just because of the scene scale being really small and quite awkward. We could, change the simulation settings, but I think it's better just to kind of go through and just kind of go through and make it larger and then scale it back down after. But one of the issues we were having is that the mesh thickness was just crazy. So I think what we need to do is I'm going to delete that strip and then extrude this really far. So let's also get rid of you, because we don't need this mesh to be nice. Like, we don't need it to be perfectly clean or anything like that. We just need it to not have these sections that are coming really close to intersecting with each other. So basically areas like this one I need to get rid of. So let's just get rid of that for now. can't really get rid of that one. So let's just start welding this together. I don't actually need most of it. I don't need a majority of it, to be honest. One thing I'm wondering though, would it just be easier to just extrude this as it currently is? Because if I make it overly thick, like, it doesn't actually matter. I just need it to sit in this area, and this volume hasn't changed. I know this looks ridiculous, but it might legit be the easiest way to get what we need. I can't tell. It might even be easier to have it just one poly thick. In which case, let me undo a bunch. Let's make sure I've deleted the right side. So actually I need to delete this side. And then let's get rid of you. In fact, let's just get rid of all of this. That. Why does this loop? Why does that loop exist the way it does? Well, I guess I should keep that just in case it's actually important. Yeah, so let's just go into select both of these. Come on. Merge to center. Don't know what happened there. And then I think from here we can just target weld every other edge, right? This will be quicker than going through every vert. It's also a lot less sensitive, which is helpful. So I can just like click and flick like that. And then I guess down here we just have to merge to center. Yeah, so this might be fine. I'm just going to smooth it so we got a better mesh for simulation. And that should be okay. Although I do feel like this should be pushed in a bit. Like, it should be more like that. So that's worth fixing now before I do anything. Yeah, that should definitely be pushed in. So let's just grab all of these. Oh, you're awkward, aren't you? Okay, let's grab face loops. I guess the easiest way is just to scale it, right? Just do something like that. And then move it down. Add edge flow. That works better for me. Smooth's better too. So we'll do something like that. Alright, so let's duplicate you. Group 10. And I'm not going to go through all that merging stuff again. I'm just going to use this as a volume. So let's literally just go through and do... Come on, there we go. Where's the other mesh? Almost did the exact same shape. It's just this one now. So they're the same shape now. Cool, so this is the mesh we're going to simulate with. And smooth that. Although maybe it's worth pulling that back. Thing is, like, all this stuff is best to do now, while we've got, you know, before we've simulated the tie, just because there's no point simulating the tie and then changing the shape of the mesh. Okay. Save the scene. Then I'm just gonna smooth that and just leave that as it is. So file, export, selection. And then let's go to, I guess we should add something that goes to pretty much where the end of the tie is, right? So let's go, even if it's just a little something. So let's just say these ones. Just extrude those out. Or even better yet, just delete the mesh below that point. Well, I guess we can be quite free on the length. So to mark it, what I'll do is just go, okay, this is where it ends. And I'm just gonna slightly inset that a little bit, just so we can see where the tie should end if we want to match this mesh. That'll work fine. So delete you, file, export, selection, modeling, Maya, exports, MD meshes, shirt, 10 scale, not short, shirt. Cool. So who's in the chat at the moment? I still haven't downloaded the update. Or who's in the chat? No one's in the chat. Who's in the stream at the moment? 4 people watching. If you're new to the stream, don't be afraid of commenting. I know there's quite a lot of people that like kind of silently watch these. You might get judged by other people for watching my streams, to be honest, but I won't worry too much about that. So, do something like that. Don't know what they're all beeping about. Right, so let's just go. It's going to be quite difficult. Is there a way to do back face culling in this? Leather. Glass. And kind of helpful. Alright, so let's just create a rectangle. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to ignore the shape for a while. I'm just going to get this tied, because then what I can do is do the retopology, like the kind of automated grid thing, because that works perfectly on rectangles, which is what I did for the scarf. Obviously it doesn't work perfectly on things that aren't rectangles. So what I can do is tie the tie as a rectangle, and just at the very end, after I've retopologized it, just thicken the end of it and see if the retopology follows. If it doesn't, what I can do is just export it, both thickened and unthickened, and then just do a blend shape with UV space. There's nothing too difficult. Right, so, although we could just do regular retopo on this. I just don't know what the process is in here. Right, so I need to change this material, don't I? Let's add a new material. Tie matte. look shiny. Let's go for just something like that. And then select, nope. Select you. Assign timer. Then let's also change the material physical properties to be default for simulation, just because it renders so much quicker. This feels like it's a little bit low poly. It is a little bit low poly, that's why. Let's lower that particle distance because we're gonna need it lower. Let's go even lower still. Let's go 5. That'll do. So I guess I'm wondering if it pulls through or not, or if we literally just have to kind of wind this around. It has to be a way just to let it pass through back faces, right? It's not there. Come on. Is it possible to make something not selectable? Apparently not. Because I don't see anything immediately. That. I need to make the back of this longer, aren't I? So let's just go. If only I could remember what the button was. There we go. Come on. Why are you not selectable? Shall I just make you more visible? You caught? I mean, I can be hacky for a second here and just do that. Ah, doesn't work. Oh, now it works. Cool, so let's just lengthen that. So definitely gonna need to make it more narrow. Let's just delete all pins. Why is it not letting me select this? So let's make that far longer. Now I've got to see if I can remember how to tie a tie. Also, I'm surprised how long this has to be. So how do you tie? I need a piece of fabric to tie a tie with. Because I remember how to tie it physically. I don't remember how to tie it visually. I'm just going to find a picture because I don't have any cloth that I could tie as a tie. I'm not using a sock because that shit's weird. How to tie a tie. I feel like every person should know this, but so what the fuck? Okay, so apparently holding W and clicking. Well, that's helpful. Oh, damn you. So this is going to be what I'm contending with most of this time now. So let's lengthen this. So hold this down. This is going to be an absolute nightmare. Right, so that needs to go over here, which we've got. I'm also going to increase the particle distance, which might be suicide, but I kind of feel like we might need to. Or decrease the particle distance. Let's go to 3. Yes, I know. Right, so we have that so far. These images are so hard to understand. Like, I feel bad for people who don't know how to tie ties like on themselves. Although it's quite a quick thing to learn. I remember having to learn it for high school and it taking like no time. Just do that, stretch it out super tight. So you now need to go, you've gone round, you need to go that way, then back over here again. Back under there. Trying to turn the fabric around is a bit of a nightmare. Need that to go over. Does it need to go under this one? It needs to go under this one. There's probably a really easy way to do ties in Marvelous. I don't know it. In fact, Daniel probably has a really good video. If you guys don't recognize the name Daniel and you use Marvelous, you're doing yourself a disservice. It's a YouTube channel run by a guy I assume is called Daniel, and he is the most helpful. Like he's up there with Laurie Griffiths. Like his videos are just unbelievably informative, and he's just so casual about it. Like I really like this stuff. Let's pull that up here. I'm just gonna kill the simulation just so it remembers this point. Because if you kill the simulation, as far as I am aware, if you kill the simulation, it kind of remembers that point. It's like a kind of checkpoint type save thing. Let me just type hi. I'm going to delete this guy. Simulate. Delete you. Is it possible to stop you from doing this? I need to thread it. This is going to be really difficult, but I need to thread it through here. Right, so let's add a dot right there. Wait, no, that's not where I need to thread it at all. This is where I need to thread it. I've got a feeling this isn't correct. No. Let's pull you up. How do I get this to go up now? No! Oh, are you kidding me? Oh, there we go. What point is this though? I think this is it tied? Yeah, this is it tied. Alright, cool. I'm just gonna save again. How the fuck do I... That's just come undone again, hasn't it? I need to pull this up. How do I stop it from doing that? Do I need more thickness? 0.5. Let's check the well, it's definitely not too thin. Yes, I know, low particle distance, blah 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 blah. That's just come and done again, isn't it? How do you do this? Alright, well I'm gonna lower these thicknesses. Let's do 1.5. That should be okay. Let's do 1.5. That immediately comes undone. Oh, I remember. It might be. I think you have to click strengthen for this sort of stuff to work. That's a no. Definitely not strengthen. I doubt it's solidify, but we can try. It's coming undone again. Alright, so I have to boost that thickness, don't I? Beautiful. So let's put that thickness up. What happens if we put it like way up, like 4? It gets more stable, doesn't it? So maybe I just need to crank the thickness for a while now. How do you do this? That is not what I meant to do. And you've come undone again. One, yes I know. So even 1 is a bit too difficult for it. How's going on up there? What the fuck? Okay, let's not use a particle distance of 1. Sir? Are you okay? Oh, is this the thickness? Why did that break like that? I've got a feeling the fact it's rolled over itself has something to do with it. Oh, this will be fun if this works. Let's try adding an internal line right there. Enter. And put an internal line right there? Nah, right here. And let's do the same on this side, which is down here. Let's go to about there. Cool. Then select that line and that line. Oh, just that. And just, nope. Okay, apparently you just need to do them one at a time. Cut and sew, I guess. Cut. Delete that section. Cut. Cut. Let's delete all those. Well, it's a bit too fast. Is it worth change the strength of one of these? Intensity. So that's like 1. Let's see if that works. And let's try the other one. That's less intense. I don't know why you're floating. What we can do though is just delete the bottom of the mesh, right? So that is... it's actually the top. So let's just go through and do... no. Oh, you've moved. Is there a way for me to just move this? Well, I guess I can freeze you. Let's freeze. I love this. No! Wrong way! Oh, god fucking damn it. It's so close as well. Well, it's not that close, let's face it. Okay. How can I do this? How can I do this? Can you stop freaking out, please? There. No, not you. You. Why do you keep selecting you? I'm clearly trying to grab that guy. If this doesn't work, I'll just go into why would I want to do that? We were so close as well. Would making the mesh thinner help? No, don't go through. Alright, I guess this isn't how we're gonna do it. Maybe I can do this in my free time. Try to figure this out. For now, I'll just kill it. I could manually model it. It just feels like such a waste of time though. Let's hide this for now. Kid, that's his left, so let's go L-shoe. Kid was his right. Let's grab you as well. Group these two. group? That's his hair. Oh, that's the old sculpt group, right? Yeah, because there's the scarf. I could just manually fix this. Just delete everything that's not the outermost layer. No, what? Wait, why was that connected? Oh, okay. There we go. So if we connect obviously we're not going to do the back of this thing. So it can probably just go straight from you to you. Although this has too many edge loops, isn't it? So let's delete on top of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. So I'm going to need to invert one of these. And I think the lesser of two evils. I mean, I could just keep it like that. Let's just get you and extrude you in. And then I guess what we need to do now, let's check you against the character. Yeah, so what we need to do now is move all this up. Solo those two. Do this. Get you in. Delete you, get a straight line with some tension. Add edge flow on you. We're going to need this edge to come down and forward to make that top bit less pronounced. We can have this bend, I guess, that looks interesting. So line you. And then let's do the same stuff we just did to this guy. A bit overexcited there. Edit edge flow. guess at this point we can just go through and really clean this up, although we will be smoothing this and all that stuff. I feel like, let's see how it smooths. Yeah, I think that's good enough. Let's add a bit of thickness to it. Let's also turn off X-ray for you, solo you. Let's just grab you and you and you, pull them back, bring that a little bit tighter. Grab you and you, pull that back, make it a little bit tighter. If we were to make this physically correct, it would be as simple as just connecting this one and that one, and then just extruding him down. So I kind of want to do it, just because I'm going to be giving it a thickness anyway. Let's just quickly get rid of that. And the edge flow on you, edge flow on you, edge flow on you, edge flow you, edge flow you, edge flow you, edge flow you. And the edge flow is like the most amazing, like, give me nice topology tool. I love it. Yeah, fuck it, let's make it correct. So I'm gonna need to invert the normals on this guy. Polygon display. Nope. Is reverse normals not one of these? How weird. No. Mesh display. Reverse. Yeah, let's do this. Bridge. Delete you and delete you. Set this loop. Just bevel it to get it a bit more even. There we go. Then you, to make you correct, just need to ultimately just need to do this for you. That works well enough. We just need to fix this a bit. So let's go edit edge flow. Oh, let's insert a loop there and there, which allows me to edit edge flow you away, then you, then you, and you, and just rinse repeat. Middle one can stay where it is. And let's just do the same for you as well. Then same over here, so we want you and you, and go with you as well. Cool. So now let's just add a loop there, pull you over, flatten you vertically. There we go. A tied tie. Just do this. I'm gonna make it like a super strong there we go. We have a tied tie, and no one will know. But I will know, which makes it worth it for me. Right, so we have a tied tie. We need some stuff for the trousers. Coat's looking really dull. So how can we do this then? I am tempted to just put end cloth on it for a second. I literally for one frame of simulation. Although there's nothing for it to simulate against, so might be a little bit tricky. Trying to figure out what it's missing, because there's a lot. I feel like the arm shape is wrong. I feel like where's my Wacom? There it is. Oh, Wacom pen even. I feel like this should go down more. That feels better to me than this. So just trying to figure out what it's in need of. It might need a little bit of a cross there, whereas like there is a change in direction in the fabric. I like this. This is good. Although I kind of want to get a little. Nah, that won't work. Well, let's do one step at a time, eh? Let's go with topology symmetry. This is where adding thickness later rather than sooner comes in. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of the inside of this thing. So this is one polyfic the whole way around. So now it's a bit easier to control. We can also delete a lot of these edges if we want to. In fact, I might do that. So let's settle on a shape. So I'm going to go with... Ah! What the hell was that? Why isn't undo working? That works. Nope. Is that what we want to go with? We can give it a go. It's not accurate to him though, is it? This does need to be baggier. It's just not working. Even if we just had the bottom hang a bit more, so if we just have this do more of a straight line, maybe even have it hang forward a little bit, kind of like that, so it's more vertical, although that'll look weird when it's posed. Let's give that a go. So I'm going to delete lots of topology here. This point is fine. This end one's good. We want to leave that well alone. Let's do that. Why are you happening? Let's do object X. That's not working either. World X. Does this actually not work with oh, it doesn't. X. Now it's working. Alright, cool. Edge flow. Feels nicer. It feels a lot nicer. It's a simple change. I quite like the droopiness here, but not here. Alright, we'll add thickness when we know we're done. So, I wanted to do a little bit of something here, didn't I? So we need to grab you and pull you out, you and pull you in for that to work. This is one of many reasons to have a low poly mesh. This sort of change with a high poly. Obviously you can do it, and it's not difficult by any stretch, but it's so much easier with a low poly. Hey Telf, how you doing? Haven't seen you here for a while. Hope you're doing well, mate. Why is this getting thicker over here? Happened to his right arm? What happened to his right arm? Oh, I think you're in. Oh, wait, what the fuck? I love symmetry.
I love symmetry.
Hello, Becca.
You like simp?
Simp.
Symmetry?
Symmetry. That sounds like a degree from like the worst university. Ah yes, I've got a degree in symmetry.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm good. How about you?
I'm good.
That's good.
Did you tell them that you got a book?
Yeah. I'm happy with said book. Makes me happy.
I'm happy with said book. What a review.
I read through the whole thing like super quick, and it's really cool. Yeah, I went through it all earlier.
Did you eat the rest of the mash?
Yes, I did, and it's amazing. There we go.
Remind me to put those bins out.
I also did something silly.
What?
I've ended up not liking the way the tie was faked. So I poly modeled it to be correct.
Mike.
It's gonna be one of those projects. You know, the ones that I give up on because I spend too long doing silly shit like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and finish off Mr. Gumby.
Mirroring never works.
To get a good old gummy bear.
Right, so this edge right here. So let's do some topo symmetry. Where is it? There it is. You need to be pulled back, as do you. Then you need a nice little edge flow. The best modeling tool in Maya by an absolute mile. Okay, so we got that. What's wrong with the shape down here? Something. Let's fix this. the shape nicely. I think I will leave adding thickness until the end. Bless you. I'll keep it on the shirt just because the shirt's kind of past the point of no return really for that. Although, actually no it isn't. I'll leave it for now. Right, so this is still missing something. I just need to figure out what it's missing. It might just be shading detail, to be honest. That vert needs to be averaged. As does that one. Nope, it needs to be inflated. Alright. Silhouette's working. Something funky going on here. Yeah, looks like it's working to me. So what we're going to do to make it more interesting, let's just try shooting it in for a second. No, not soft finish, that's not what I want at all. Reverse. So, what I'm wondering is if I do this, then I can extrude you out potentially. How does that look? Ooh, that might be what it's missing. Just something to kind of round out the outside of it. Because that looks a lot better to me. Okay, so let's grab that, extrude. In that case, can we even get away with just doing this? And let's go back to that extrude. Let's go show, selection, highlighting, turn that off. That works a lot better. So now what we need to do yeah, that works better for me. So let's I need to turn back on selection highlighting. That might legit be all it needed. From here, it's just high poly sculpting to get some nice wrinkles. Although I might even be able to get away with not sculpting, just doing some really fancy shader stuff. I say fancy, just some nice maps. All it really needs. I'm gonna make a little button. Cube. As with all things, I like to start with a cube. I can turn you off now. Deform, sculpt deform. I need to make like a little script just to create a cube, smooth it, and then do all this stuff. There we go. Let's circle now. That's not what I want at all. Modify free transformations. Should go with a flatter button, right? Something like that. Make it smaller. That's nice. Button on the other side. I'm not too worried about getting the rotation perfect. A little bit of imperfection is good. And let's get a little bit of loosen that out a little bit so it's not so perfect. Convert the vertices, average verts, and all we need to do is just add a nice little cap to these. No, not like that, like that. Just gonna make it round. Apparently that's not working. So what we can do instead is just bevel this. Very weird way of doing it, but it works. How many polygons is this guy? Except the hair, of course. Is 46,000 polygons. So by most standards we would still have a bit of poly budget to play with. Modify free transformations. I also need that button down here. Should I have one of them hanging by a thread? Oh, I also need to do that strap on the back, don't I? I never figured out what it was, but I know I need to do it. So let's go with... too many faces. Let's delete 2 on either side. That seems a bit nicer. Extrude. Some more buttons. These ones I think should be a little bit bigger. A little bit taller actually. I'm going to get rid of this. Extrude that back in. Reverse this. Extrude up and then bevel. I need to extrude up further though, don't I? Now bevel. Don't like the way it's drooping down. Soft selection. It's a bit better. just do that. There we go. Cheerio, looking forward to seeing how this one turns out. I will be sure to catch up on all what I missed tomorrow. Sure, enjoy the rest of your night, man. Hopefully see you on our future streams as well.
Who was it?
Telf. He's popped by before. I remember I don't know if he popped by on FK Twigs. I think he popped by on well, he probably did pop by on FK Twigs. But I seem to remember him first showing up on the monkey streams. The Realm Creature.
Oh yeah.
I swear I remember seeing his name back then. 47,000. I think what I'll do is I'll stop modeling stuff at 60,000 polygons. Because that's a completely reasonable amount of polygons. Let's try.
Do you wanna have a look at my gummy bear?
Sure. How's it going? Looks like a gummy bear. Look at that. It's actually pretty close. Try putting a light behind it and see how it looks.
Do you like them all?
It's really cute. Yeah. Can you show me how it looks with Lambda? Just in review or something. It's cool.
I use like one of the shit ones, like I find like a really shitty, like
Yeah,
a really
it looks like it's
terrible-
been die cast. Oh, not die cast because that would be metal. Metal's not
I know
edible.
what you mean.
Yeah. Where's the go?
Oh, it's on the.
In that.
Yeah. Need to figure out what this is. So I've got like a grunge map that I've made into like little holes.
Mhm.
I'll show you when you come back.
Sure. You made a grunge wrap.
But see it? It's gonna
Oh,
have
yeah.
these little darker bits. So I wanted like little holes so like you can see the way on this.
Yeah.
It's not like little holes.
Massive recommendation.
Yeah.
Make some spheres, put them inside the model,
Yeah.
invert their normals, and give
Yeah.
them the same material.
Okay.
That will put air bubbles inside your object.
Do you want displacement on them?
If you want. I mean, just have it on them anyway.
Yeah.
Literally just throw the material on, because the thing is they'll be small. But if you get a sphere and put it inside an object that you want to feel jelly-like or water-like, just put spheres with the same material, that bit is important, inside the object,
Yeah.
and invert the normals. And it puts air bubbles in. Most renderers support it as a technique. Basically anything path traced or ray traced will work. Yeah, it's a sphere or a cube or literally any shape, as long as the mesh gets inverted or normals get inverted, then it shouldn't matter how you do it.
Is it just where would you get that? Or is invert ones?
Mesh display reverse. Right, so
Just trying to get the right scale.
kind of want to do like a proxy material thing, where I literally just like throw a metal shader on things that are metal and a non-metal shader on things that aren't. I'm going to do that now actually. So I want to start getting a feeling for what this material should look like. So, or what this object should look like. So I'm going to turn on, what are you? Oh yeah, it's that. Alright, I can delete that to be honest. And then this, that's one of the old ones, right? Nah, I prefer that one. This one has some interesting stuff to it. I think this one works better for me. So let's turn that off and get rid of view now. Turn on the light. And I'm just going to get everything that should be metal. Give that one material. Everything else that should be metal? Don't think so. Assign new material. Arnold standard surface, temp metal matte, turn U to 0, turn U a bit higher I guess, color, somewhere around there, maybe a little bit more orange. IOR, set you to 2.4, 2.5, yeah, that's close enough. Then let's get everything that's cloth, which is basically everything else. I'll ignore the tie actually because I think that needs its own material. Cool. Assign temp, cloth, A, matte. Roughness needs to go up really high. We need to go down quite low. And then sheen. Crank that up for now. Probably too strong. You need your own material. This one can be temp cloth B. Same color as everything else, so 0.18. Which is 50% grey if you don't color correct. So if I was to turn this off and set it to 50%, it's the same thing. Then this one I want to be glossy and anisotropic. I think that will do for now. So let's just try a quick test render with that. Oh, I also need to add some sheen to this. Hey Ian, how you doing? So that sheen is a bit strong potentially.
Is it?
just a little bit strong.
It looks like he's got like fucking velour on.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm just gonna put that on my other screen. In fact, actually, you can dock the Maya render view, right? Oh, the Arnold render view, right? Kill that. Come on, the Arnold render view should be dockable. Hey, there we go. Let's put that back up. That's a bit more interesting. Need to start getting. Kind of want to start establishing kind of a value range. I'm okay. Hope you guys are doing well. Yeah, we're doing great, man. Saw your Facebook post. Congrats on the second new job. Yeah, thanks, man.
I don't have 2 jobs, so thanks anyway.
So let's turn that off. Just go into our Arnold settings, subdivision, turn that on, turn that on. This might take a while. Don't need subdivision for those. Might do for some close-ups maybe, but I can add that later. Did I seriously not set this up on anything? So I need to model the trousers, figure out what I'm doing with those. So let's start figuring out a base value for everything. Let's make clothes darker. So we've already got, I'm going to change this to cloth C, and I'm going to duplicate cloth A. So let's go into the hypershade, panels, hypershade. So let's get you, edit, duplicate, duplicate without network, I guess. You can be cloth B, and then I just need to go around and get anything I want to be darker. So I'm kind of thinking making some of this stuff darker material wise. And let's just quickly that's immediately more interesting to me. It's only a small change. Let's make it even darker. So let's go 0.5. And then let's duplicate you again. So I'm going to grab that tie again. I want the tie to be the last one. Let's go cloth D. Duplicate you again. Edit, duplicate. Without network. You are now cloth C, congratulations. That can be assigned to just the coat. Just the coat and the shoes. And this one can be somewhere in between those two. So value-wise, what we're thinking. I guess you should be cloth C as well. I've got to head out. Nice progress. Thanks, man. Enjoy the rest of your night. I'll hopefully see you in the next stream. Oh, the next stream probably won't be on Thursday, by the way. It will either be tomorrow or Friday. Probably tomorrow, to be honest. I kind of want to put gold on these. This gives an interesting accent. See you, Ian. I think it's time we start UVing this, right? Let's show the rest of the scene. So I need to change the resolution every time I want to do this, right? A bit frustrating. Is there a way to save my own resolution preset? It should be, right? I can always just go in to images, ref, utility, no, that's the thumbnail. So I can always just copy these settings. So that one's height. Then I can just throw start a render with that. Render a beautiful scene. Then let's go to view. It has to be a quick way to do this. Test resolution 200%. See, what I'm struggling to figure out at the moment is, do I want to like move on to modeling other stuff as soon as possible, or do I want to like fully look dev and do everything for the character? I still don't know if I want to rig it as well.
Can I ask you some quick feedback?
Sure, what's the feedback you want?
No, I'm just thinking, because I'm like looking at this, and
Yep.
it's still got like a level of see-throughness to it.
Yep.
You can't see the colour quite
see something. What's your subsurface? Can you show me your shader? You have refraction on as well.
No.
Try turning refraction on. So you're going to have to turn it all the way down. Set it to white. Oh, it completely overrides subsurface.
Yes.
Okay, so it might be. Gets rid of subsurface. Oh, okay. In which case, set this to full. And then go to scatter and set that to the same red that you've been using.
This one?
Yep. And then depth, just increase that. Increase it further. Type of value, like put 0.1 in depth. Yep. How big is your scene? Oh, there we go. Increase the depth slightly. It's like 1. What's your roughness setting? Oh, it's tied to your reflection roughness. There should be a way to break that. Go back to your reflection refraction. No, I don't do thin wall for this. Turn specular roughness to 0. I know that'll break your spec for now, but I don't mind too much. Just turn your spec way off, I guess. All the way off. You have a clear code? No? So turn it down for now.
Is there roughness there?
Yeah, no. But I don't care for that right now. Change your depth to be like 0. Like 2 or 3. Try moving scatter anisotropic. Might be worth just googling shader tutorials for jelly.
I have.
Okay. Can I help you out a bit later?
Yeah, well done.
Cool.
Sorry.
What's it? What did you say, sorry? Right. So. I might model the box. Just to get something in there. This box. So let's just quickly knock something out of that, because that shouldn't take too long. And then we can spend the next stream just doing UVs, which is the most glamorous of subjects. There has to be a way to save this, right? Edit? No. Export render settings. I have presets. Arnold. Sticky Monsters. Set. Did you find something? Kinda. That's promising. Yeah, that sort of shade is super like weird to do.
I can see the back, which is good.
So this is the size of the box we need to do. So let's duplicate that, and then delete everything that we don't immediately want. Modify, send to pivot. Let's hide basically everything. I'll keep the kid. It's nice to have size reference from time to time. So what I'm going to do, rather than try to get this perfectly positioned, I'm just going to, you know, place it vaguely like that, and just create a cube. Set the pivot point to be like the bottom right corner. Then I can just snap that to the position of that vert. Scale. And now this one we know is perfectly straight. So I can just get the general size, like dimensions of it. And there you go. You got the same, pretty much the same box. Except this one's perfectly straight. So, what things do we need to do? Well, I'm going to need to scale this down just slightly. In fact, I only need to scale these ones down. So I'm going to be adding thickness to them after. So let's get, we're going to need to do that and that. That's awful. I need to use the insert edge loop tool actually. I always forget that the insert edge loop tool has all these like amazing features. Like that. Oh, I'm inserting loops the wrong way. So the insert edge loop tool has like all these different things, like inserting equal numbers of edges, and you can change it after the fact. So I can add more or less. So I just need 3 in this case, so that is fine. And then I guess for the back I'm gonna need more for the back, I think. So let's add, I think that's a good number. Top is fine to be the way it is, bottom's fine. So what I can do now is delete the front. In fact, I'm going to duplicate this and hide it. I'm going to delete the front. I'm going to detach why don't I just do this? Quicker. Need to detach all these edges. Let's go edit, detach components. Cool. Because now these are all separate. If I double click, nothing happens. So now, go into face mode, mesh display. Oh no, why did it be mesh display? Edit mesh, transform, random. That was kind of randomize everything a little bit, although I kind of need to do it in both directions. Ain't gonna work the way I want it to. Okay, I'll just do it manually. Let's just do that. Do that. Do that. And what I can do is grab all of these, extrude to something like that. Let's go a little bit further actually. Rotate these slightly. We'll worry about the back at the end. So let's just tilt that slightly. Let's even go that way just a little bit. I'm not doing any rotations on Y just because I'm going to manually kind of break up those edges. then these ones I need to like manually fit to the inside of these. Just do something like technically I should have done this technically I should have done this this scaling before I forgot the word I'm looking for. I should have done this scaling before I rotated stuff, just because it's not going to rotate perfectly, and I didn't rotate it as an object. I rotated them as faces, so I can't even get the pivot back. That's fine. It will add a little bit of imperfection, not in a way that I planned. I'm not going to pretend I planned it, but and I think what we need now is to mismatch some of these. Just do that. Should I make the middle one smaller than the rest? I need them now to be different sizes from each other. It only has to be subtle. It doesn't need to be consistently different. Like some of them can be the same, that's fine. Let's make this not fit so perfectly. So once you've got something like this, that'll do, right? Now we can just go in, select everything. Let's save my scene first. I'm also going to save an alt version. Bevel all of these with 2 segments. And the reason I do 2 segments is to get quads everywhere. Something like this. That will now smooth like this. To get it to smooth better, I just need to insert some loops. Make it a bit more square.
Brother, may I have some?
Loops. Did I ever tell you about the supervisor note? Yeah, I love that. I once got I once saw a supervisor note from an asset soup on a model, and he just put, "Brother, may I have some more loops?" on like a topology thing. I loved it.
It was like a cat meme, was it not?
Yeah, I can't remember exactly what it was. It's like a model that they were working on, and it needed way more subdivisions. There we go. That's still a little bit too smooth, so I'm gonna... Does that help? That probably helps. Yeah, that feels a lot better. Alright, so we just need to go around and do that now. The reason I'm not doing these like perfectly, like I am intentionally not making these line up. I want them to have different like edge hardnesses, and if I went around and kind of made all of these have the exact same like kind of strengthening, then they'd look identical, and I don't want that. It's a very, very subtle thing, and no one will notice, but it's a good excuse to save time, and I love those. That's a bit much though. Starting to get there. Is that all of them? Except from the bottom and the back? Well, I need to reinforce these ones, right? The last ones to do. I think that will be all of them now. Which one looks better? There's almost no difference at this point, so I'll leave that. Yeah, so there we go, wooden box. Now it needs some screws. Am I going to do a crosshead, or I might just do the easiest one, which is the Phillips. Actually, it might not be called a Phillips. I can't remember the name of it. That's gonna bug me now. What am I looking for right now? Oh yeah. Form. Stop the former. Scale. having end guns there make it smooth better? No, not really. I'm glad to know that. I'm kind of debating just getting rid of these. Fuck it. I prefer how that one works actually. Going through so many variations. Cool, that'll do. Modify, center pivot. This big? Well, I guess technically as well we should also do this. Now I can pull it out a little bit. How do I do that? Works for me. So let's not have that line up perfectly. Let's do something like that. Scale it slightly, rotate it that way. These need to be a lot smaller. I am tempted to do like a metal like thing holding these together. Let's just grab.
I think really what would be nice is instead of having like really perfect one, to have, you know, like really odd bent nails that you get whenever you're making those props. They would be like really tiny, you know, like the big long nails.
Well, it's literally just a nail that's like bent in.
It's not like, I can't remember the name, and they're like you know, like the ones you always see fucking rusty lying around. I think because I used to work in a stop motion office, I used to always see them lying around and they'd peeled your feet.
I'm gonna add the metal band thing, and then I'll look into those things. So let's move that out slightly. Maybe one of them should be missing a nail at the bottom and is therefore hanging a little bit more. So let's just put that pivot up there. That pop out completely. That's kind of cool. It's like it's held in place by that specific nail.
See if I can find it.
Yeah, I'll probably go for what you just said. It sounds like a better idea than mine. I'm just trying to figure out the general look at the moment. What I'm thinking now is if I get that cube again, duplicate you again, because I always want to keep a backup of this guy. Solo you for a second. Delete everything I don't need. But then there should be a hole. Oh, don't you worry about that shit. I'm gonna be doing all that.
Who's setting up?
Oscar.
Oscar, God.
I'm one of those guys. I'm like overly obsessive with making sure I got like stupid details. To be honest.
Normally, so it'd be a great movie for that kind of stuff. I love seeing set design for it. It is friggin' insane. It's one of the best things I've ever seen.
So it's not in the ref, but I quite like the idea of having these like metal things. What do you think?
Oh, like the I get what you mean. It'd be nice to make them a little bit upwardly wider than what they should be.
Well, I'm just thinking since they're not in the ref, I don't want to go overboard with them. I just want them to be there, so there's something. So if I throw the temp metal, obviously they're going to be gold. But let's just grab. Just something like that. Just obviously not gold. I think I need to model that a bit more to make it work. Wood shading is my bane, so this is going to be
I love photo shading.
but like photorealistic wood shading.
Substance?
Yeah, but still photorealistic wood shading. It's not easy.
Well, it's not easy, but it's definitely a lot easier than having to kind of color make maps. Arguably, you could download the Pixar library.
I'm not going to rely on a library. I really don't want to do that. I want to make everything myself from scratch.
Everything smells so nice.
What's that?
No, I'm and like trying to pack stuff for going away, like going home. But the clothes that I want, I wanted to make sure that they were ready to go. But everything's supposed to nice and clean.
Let's grab all this stuff.
Tomorrow will be the day that I try and get everything to the van. Just carry my coat.
Did I call this temp metal A or B? Temp metal, let's rename it temp metal A. And then let's assign, let's kill that render for a second. I need 2 new materials. Assign new material. Temp metal B map. Send you down. You can stay like there. You can go to about, let's go pretty high there. A bit of anisotropy. Making things from scratch in 3D could easily mean a self-appointed death sentence. Oh yeah.
I'm currently trying to shade a gummy bear. Oscar.
That is also a death sentence. Let's give this a slight blue tinge. Metal is almost never monochromatic. There's always a slight tint to it. I normally find blue looks quite nice. Not because blue is particularly accurate, just because I quite like how blue looks. Let's get a wood shader, a temp wood shader. Temp wood A matte. I need to figure out what kind of wood this is going to be. Number of viewers has suddenly jumped up a bit. What is Becca trying to do? Couldn't understand. It's always nice to hear what people are working on. Becca?
Hang on.
She says hang on.
Oh, I'm working on a gummy, like a gummy shader. Like a gummy bear. Which is... It's harder on a shader roll than it is in an actual mesh, because on a shader, you know what I mean? Because like on the mesh, you can see what you need, because obviously you need tweak values and stuff like transparency and like your scattering. I think I'm just gonna leave it at this and then move on. I really want to do that like.
Do you want me to show it or?
I don't need it. I need to do like a clear render. I'm just gonna check the bottom of the shader roll to see if like you can kind of see some of the grey below it. I think you can.
tile actually. Oh. So we also need to add the cloth at the front. So we need to do this here. How is that built? I think it would be screwed to the top. Like kind of little nails going through it and holding it at the top. There's not going to be like a little curtain bar type thing. So what I'm going to do is duplicate this box, group it. Scale 10. Cool. Although we really should have this in world center first. So we got that. Modify 3D transformations, file, export selection. So let's go call this base. Oh, base box. Get back into Marvelous. Export selection. Or is it? Oh, import obj. Base box. Yeah, no, I couldn't find the T-pose. So all we're going to do for this is create. Oh, that's internal line. Let's just create a rectangle that goes just shy of half length of the box. Okay, we're going to put that to 5 particle distance. And something like that is fine, and then freeze it. Freeze. Cool. Then we'll create a bigger rectangle, which means a bunch up. And we will sew those two together and sim. And we're gonna need quite a high particle distance, or quite a low particle distance for this. Okay. So how do I get it to stay tapered then? there an elastic setting for the object I can use? Or shrinkage? Let's try 50. So that's not what I want. Okay, let's just reset the 3D arrangement on that guy. Okay, so shrinkage isn't the way to go. So let's set that back to 100. Also, let's change fabric 1 to have default simulation. So that's like instantly quicker. What do I want? I want this where it kind of all bunches up. I just can't remember how to do it. Maybe with an internal line at the bottom. So what I want the wrinkles, like what I've got at the top, but I want them to go the whole way down. I don't want it to straighten out. So let's try making an internal line. And add some elastic to that. That's not what I want, although it's kind of interesting. It's not all I want though. How can I do that then? How do I do this? Actually, both times I've used this software today, I've been having troubles. Ooh. Do I just need way more fabric? No, because I really need this to be straight. Maybe I need a piece of fabric between these two. That is a bit smaller. Complete wildcard, I don't think that's gonna fix anything. Let's give it a go. Yeah, it doesn't fix anything. Is there anything on the sewing that I can do? I'm just going to search marvelous designer curtains. That's getting the effect I want. So what's he doing? Or it could be a scale issue. His just works by default. Okay, then maybe increasing the weight is a good way to mimic that. Or reducing the thickness. Let's check. Let's try setting it to a lower number. No idea what grain direction does. Let's give it a go. Doesn't let me go above 100. Good to know, I was probably breaking something under the hood. Buckling stiffness. That's closer to what I want. I didn't know there was a setting for that. That's cool. I seem to learn what these settings actually do. So that is the opposite of what I want, which is good. We're literally just moving simulation settings left and right. Oh. It is not happy with that. Beautiful. That stays. Right, so trying to remember which way is warp and which way is weft. Might be close enough, to be honest. It's still not quite working for me though. I don't want to set this to 0 either, because I feel like 0 is always going to cause issues. Density, what do you do? Oh, density is weight. Alright, cool. So let's set you to be like 3. So now I've got to figure out, do I want to tie them to one side, or do I want to have the monster burst out of them? Because if I want the monster to burst out of them, I'm going to have to save the scene and simulate it later. For now, let's put you back over there. No, not like that though. I need to be at the bottom. There we go. Yeah, so let's move you over there. And copy and paste both of these. Symmetric paste. Cool. And then all I need to do is move both of these in here. I guess I need to shorten both of them, right? Well, this is going beautifully. Why is this happening? Come on, let go. I need to make both of these actually a little bit longer. Maybe even longer still.
When are you finishing?
Going to stream at 11. Are you going to get in bed soon? Alright, I'll end it in like 5 minutes. So I think finishing this is like a really good end point, I think. Cool. Let's just call this one box.md underscore 1. And then I guess Just save again. I don't trust it. Weft is the one that runs horizontally through the warps. Oh, okay. That do something. I love this new remesh. Although I do want to remesh it at lower quality. Oh, I love that so much. Hey Becca. The new if you've got a rectangle, the new remesh actually gives you like perfect quads.
Oh, that's cool.
It only works on rectangles, but in the case of this project, most of what I'm doing are rectangles. I think this is pretty much perfect for what I want, right? So now, just show it as a thick mesh, file, export, selection. I guess we should export that to you. File. Yeah, let's just export everything. File, export, selection. Let's call this one. Did I just spell it wrong? I actually spell it right. I'm not as much of an idiot as I sometimes think I am. Well, most of the time I think I am. Curtains, and let's just put thick. I'm going to do that as a thick mesh. Cool, let's get into Maya. File, import. For that. Cloth C. Cool. Let's just start a quick render. So what exactly made the bottom part less stiff now in MD? I don't know which one it was. I'm pretty sure it was buckling weft. So if you go into the fabric options and go to detail, so I used default for sim as the physical properties, and then I think it was buckling ratio and density that helped. I'm pretty sure those are the two that really helped. I can close this now. Yeah, there we go. Starting to get somewhere. There's almost a character in our scene. just need to. The trousers need some more modelling work. The coat, I'm still not happy with that shape. I really just don't know what shape it needs. But yeah, so I'm gonna end the stream here anyway. I hope you've found something helpful. If not, then it's a shame, I guess. But yeah, so I'm gonna end the stream, and hope you guys enjoy the rest of your night. I'll be streaming again tomorrow, just because I'm not entirely sure. Well, I won't be doing Thursday, so I'll be streaming tomorrow instead, I think. In the meantime, though, hope you all have a good evening, and I'll hopefully see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.